Hello, 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 everybody. Hello. How are you doing? How are you doing? Hello, everybody. Hello. Hello. Hello, hello, Tanya White. Hello, Harrison. Welcome, guys. Welcome, Genesis. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you doing? Welcome, City Star Gandar. Welcome, RK116. Welcome, guys. Good morning. Is it morning for you too, Harrison? Hello, one mademoiselle. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. How are you guys doing today? How are you guys doing today? I am just typing. How are you? Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Hi, one mademoiselle. Hey, Jaya Kumar. Hello, Imad FS. Hello, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You've been waiting for me? Really? Welcome. I'm happy you're here. I hope you guys are having a great day. Oh, you're close by. Welcome. You are close to Jamaica. I think most of you here are on the other side of the world. That's so interesting. It is 7:32 a.m. here in Jamaica. It seems like it's gonna be a sunny day. It's been raining all week, but it seems like it's gonna be a sunny day today. So let's see. How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing? Who else? Where are you guys from? Where are you guys from? Where are you guys from? I love to hear where you guys are from. It's so interesting seeing people from all over the world. I love seeing that. Where are you guys from? Tell me. You're in Istanbul and it's 3:30 p.m. So you are 7-8 hours ahead, basically. Saudi Arabia. Welcome, Genesis. Welcome, guys. What time is it in Saudi Arabia, Genesis? I think it's later than that. Hello, Arif Lone. You were sunbathing today. Wow, it was really hot. Where are you from, Tanya White? Watching from Indian occupied Kashmir. Oh, so was Kashmir a different country and then India took it over? That's what you mean by Indian occupied? That's so interesting. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Thank you so much. I don't know what this thing is. Okay, wait. From Ukraine. Okay, welcome from Ukraine. Hello, Jadavishwarya 3. I tried. So, guys, just a couple announcements. As you know, summer school is starting on June 15th. I'm from Jamaica. Woo! If you guys are interested in summer school, send me the word summer school, okay? Or you can click the link in my bio and it's the first button. So it'll be a 12-week program where every Monday you get a tutorial about a different grammar topic. We will have live classes. You will get daily activities from Monday to Friday that will help you with your listening, your speaking, your reading, and your writing. You will get graded assignments where I will tell you like ways you can improve your writing or what exactly you need to work on. It is going to be a really intensive program, guys. 3 months. If you just put in 3 months of daily activities into your English, you can get so far. So if you would like to join grammar school, send me the words summer. If you'd like to join summer school, send me the words summer school, okay? Or you can click the link in my bio to register. Also, if you would like one-on-one tutoring or if you'd like to practice your speaking, I have sessions at $5 for 15 minutes, or if you want a whole lesson, right, you can pay US $15 for a whole hour. Alright, that's it. So my name is Deidre and I am your Instagram English teacher, and today we will be talking about prepositions. So I asked last night what it is you guys would like to talk about, and most people, it was like 50 people said prepositions and 20 said parts of speech. Parts of speech is always losing out. So I'm definitely, remember I said I'm gonna start a YouTube channel, right? So on my YouTube channel I will definitely post about parts of speech, because some of you have definitely asked me about parts of speech. Alright guys, so prepositions, right? What is a preposition? Thank you, Jada. Welcome, Imed Tang. Welcome everybody. So can anyone tell me what a preposition is? Do any of you know what a preposition is? Hello, Amadi. Alright, so a preposition is a word that is used to link a noun or pronoun to other words in a sentence, right? A preposition is a word that's used to link nouns or pronouns to other words in a sentence. Let me just back. Other words in a sentence. So some of the most common prepositions that you know are like to, from, in, with, over, under, around, right? Those are some common prepositions. Alright guys, and prepositions are words that you have to study because they mean different things with different words. So even though I'm going to teach you about prepositions today, after this live class has ended, you still have to practice, because prepositions are funny things. In some sentences you can use more, with some verbs or with some adjectives you can use more than one prepositions, right? And in each case they will mean something different. Alright, so let's go into some examples. I prefer to read in the library, right? That means I prefer to go inside the library, sit down and read. If I say I prefer to read at the library, means I prefer to read, either I prefer to go there to read, or if I say I like to read at home, I prefer to stay home and read, right? So if I say in, it means I go inside. If I say at, it means that I prefer this place to that place, right? Beside versus besides, I have a video on my page about that, Jada. So after this live has ended, you can scroll down and you'll see that video, okay? I have a video about that. Alright, so remember guys, I said different verbs take different adjectives, right? And some verbs take more than one adjective. For example, the word look. If I say look at, I'm telling you to use your eyes and focus on that thing. If I say look into, it means I'm asking you to investigate something, right? If I say look for, it means I'm asking you to search for something, right? So prepositions, each verb can be used, well, many verbs can be used with different prepositions. There are some verbs where the verb is used with one set preposition, but in many cases verbs can be used with various prepositions, right? So for example, the word good can be used with many different prepositions, right? So I can say I am good at football. That means I play the sport well. I am good to my mother, I am good to my siblings. That means that I treat them well, I am kind to them. If I say I'm good with animal, that means that I have a knack. It's an inherent capability that I have to take care of animals. If I say I can say eating too much chocolate is bad for my health. So is bad for my health. Or I can say eating vegetables is good for your health. So I use good at, good with, good to, right? So that's 3 ways I can use good so far. The 4th way, that was good of you, right? That was good of you to do this. It was good of you to remind me about my homework, right? So that means you're saying to the person that I appreciate what you have done, or I'm saying it was good of you. If I say my little brother is good inside, that means he has a good heart, he has a good personality, right? And the final way to use good, I'm saying cheese tastes good on egg, because I love egg and cheese. So I can say cheese tastes good on egg. That's another way to use good, right? So prepositions are things that you have to study. It takes practice. As with everything else in English, learning prepositions, learning when to use which preposition takes practice. Alright, so as I said before, prepositions are words. V1 is usually verb 1, verb 2, verb 3. How can you explain to say English without think about grammar? I don't know the answer. You need grammar for English. Grammar is important in every aspect. You need your grammar to speak properly, to write properly, to understand what you're reading, and to be able to listen correctly. When you listen, you know what exactly you're talking about. So grammar is essential to English. Welcome everybody, welcome. So if you are writing, get your notebooks, right? So usually it is said that preposition should not end a sentence, but you can. For example, you can say, where are you from? I can say, netball is something that I'm good at. So there are a few cases where you can end with a preposition. So it's not wrong to end a sentence. You should just ensure that the preposition that you're using actually makes sense, right? Prepositions are usually followed by nouns or pronouns, right? They're usually followed by nouns or pronouns, and there are more than 100 prepositions. And unlike verbs or nouns, where words are added to the dictionary basically every year or whenever it is that they review dictionaries, prepositions this is the one part of speech that's a closed group. They don't add any more prepositions ever. It's always going to be the same prepositions, right? So that's something interesting. All right, types of preposition. We have prepositions of time, prepositions of place, prepositions of direction or movement, right? Prepositions of time, prepositions of place, and prepositions of direction or movement. All right, so prepositions of time. And they indicate when something happened, when it happens, or when it will happen, right? So there are so many prepositions that can be used as prepositions of time, right? So many prepositions that can be used as prepositions of time. So on, in, after, during, while, before, after. Any word that tells you when something happened, happens, or will happen is a preposition of time. Alright. Jane was born on January 1, 2019. Jane was born in 2019. Jane was born at 2 a.m. Jane was born 2 years after her brother. Jane was born before her mother's birthday. So those are all prepositions that tell time. You can also say, during the class, the teacher taught about prepositions, right? So that is another way to use another preposition. Alright, so generally for months, seasons, centuries, we use in. So born in 1987, born in January, Easter falls in spring, the Second World War occurred in the 20th century. So in is used for years, months, seasons, centuries. For dates, specific holidays, you usually use on. So I go to club meetings on Thursdays. Christmas is on December 25th. We will go to the restaurant on her birthday, right? So usually for days, dates, and specific holidays, we use on. Alright, for example, festivals. So a lot of parties usually happen during Easter. I work faster at nights. So It's like whenever there is an exception, you usually use at. So she finished at 7 p.m. I work faster at night. By is another one. I work faster by myself. Well, that by is not time, but at is another preposition of time. Before and after, that's pretty easy to understand. Before, after. So I went to sleep before doing my homework. I woke up after the news was finished. Before, after. Other prepositions of time, during, I mentioned during already, about, right? So I got to school about 7 a.m. this morning. Around is another one that's usually used the same way as about when it comes to time. So I got to school around 7 a.m. means it can mean like before, like 5 minutes to 7, 5 minutes after 7. Around and about practically have the same meaning, right, when it comes to being prepositions of time. After, until. So until is used in the sense that I will watch television until it's time to go. So that means when I'm watching television, this is the time to go. When it's time to go, I will stop, right? So I will watch television until it's time to go. And throughout, the students were chatting throughout the class. That means it's almost the same as during. It means while the class was happening, they were constantly chatting. If I say throughout, it's a constant thing that was happening while the class was going on, right? So if I say the children were chatting throughout the class, it means they were constantly chatting. So does anyone have any questions about prepositions of time? Any questions? Welcome everyone that has come into the live. Today I am talking about prepositions. Yes, Arison, do you have a question? I just finished prepositions of time. Prepositions of time. Anyone has any questions? Welcome Saber, welcome Lucas, welcome Ali Jabbar. What else did I miss? Welcome Goffart. I will play games until night. Great, good example. Anyone else wants to give an example? R. Forge Dan. Welcome Skyline 2018. Welcome Snowflake Carlos Delatch. Welcome guys. Welcome. I am talking about prepositions and I just finished prepositions of time. Prepositions of time tell when something happened, happens, or will happen. I am from Jamaica, everyone. I am from Jamaica. Woo. Prepositions of place. Welcome guys. So right now we will go to prepositions of place, right? Prepositions of place. The same ones I'll be working until I get to 55 years old or until I reach 55. Not until I got, right? Until I get to 55 years old, until I reach 55 years old. Hello, Hizam, welcome. I am now going to prepositions of place. Alright guys, so some of the same. Thank you, you're welcome. I'm good, thanks. We're going to go into prepositions of place. So some of the same prepositions that we use for prepositions of time, they can also be used for prepositions of place, right? So in, at, on, they're also used for place. So the cat is on the table, right? The cat is on the table. The dogs are in the kennel. That means the dogs are inside the kennel. We can meet at the crossroads. So the location, this location is where we can meet, right? So on is usually used referring to something with a surface. Now guys, there's one thing I like to tell you about English, right? To almost everything English rule, there is an exception. So even though I'm telling you the general rules of these prepositions, right, I'm almost sure that we will find exceptions to them when you're reading, when you're writing, when you're listening. There will be exceptions, okay? So these, even though these are general rules, you'll find exceptions. So the cat is on the table. The sculpture hangs on the wall. The images are on the page. Specials are on the menu. The bag is on my back, right? So usually something that has a surface. My back is a surface. We generally use in when we're referring to inside, right? So remember I said before I like to read in the library. That means when I go to the library, I go inside and I sit and I read, right? I like to read in the library. Jim is in France, right? My aunt is in the hospital. There is cheese in the fridge. They are playing the kids are playing in the sandbox. So it usually refers to inside, right? For preposition of place, the word in usually refers to inside. Then we have the preposition at, which means a specific point. So if I'm saying that we will meet at the bus stop, it means both of us are going to go to the bus stop and meet there. Where can we use of? Of is usually used with verbs. So take off, for example, where the plane is leaving. Pay off, right? That's a bribe. Off is not used that much. Why? I'm speaking too fast. I'm so sorry. If anyone else think I'm speaking quickly, please tell me, okay? I can slow down. Thanks for telling me, Goft Heart. Where can we use off? I turned off the lights. Do you understand what it means to turn off the lights, on and off? So I turned off the lights. I switched off the television. Off usually means that the thing is no longer in action. So if I say the show is off, it means that it's cancelled, right? Good question. That's a very good question. The word off, right? It usually means cancelled, not in action. Yeah, that's usually the general meaning of off, right? Off. If I'm still speaking quickly, just ask me to slow down, right? Just write the words slow down. Okay, great. Alright, we were at. As I said, at refers to, okay, thank you, Miss Marie. At refers to a specific point, right? So if I say that we are going to meet at the bus stop, that means both of us are going to travel to the bus stop and meet there. We can also say another preposition of place is in front of. So if I say we are going to meet in front of the school, that means both of us are going to travel to the school and stand in front of it and we'll meet there, right? So that's where we'll meet. Alright, if I say we will meet at the airport, we know what it means to meet at the airport, right? We are going to go to the airport and we are going to meet each other inside. So at refers to a specific point. On, place, a verb of place, it refers to something that has a surface, right? So in terms of transportation, we use on with bus. So I'm going to get on the bus. I'm going to get on the next flight to New York. I'm going to get on the train. I'm going to get on the bike. Can you also use bike for a bicycle? I'm going to get on my bicycle. In. Which mode of transport? I'm going to get in my car. We use in for cars. If you say on my car, it usually means on top of, right? Like if I say, alright, if somebody says, come inside the house, that means in, right? If I say come in the house, no, that means inside. If I say come on the house, that means on top of the house. So we have to be very careful with in and on, especially because they usually can be used in the same sentences, but they generally have different meanings, right? So in would mean inside and on would mean on top of, right? So we have to be careful with in and on. Alright, prepositions. Oh, here are some other words that represent place, right? So we have under. So this is the table, under. The cat is here under the table. Over. So not on. On means he's resting directly on it, right? But over means like here, the table. This is on, over. Inside. Inside, outside. above. Over is similar to above, and below is similar to under. Yeah. Over is similar. Over and above are similar, below and under are similar. The cat is under the table. The sandwich is over there. The clock is hanging over the computer desk. Your legs are under the table. Very good. The key is locked inside the car. Or my bed is inside my house. Right? Your bed would be outside your house. Major is ranked above corporal. So for above and over, right? Over is usually literally hanging over. Above can mean literally hanging over, but it also means generally like of a higher position. So the example I have here is major is ranked above corporal. That means major is ranked higher than corporal. If I say macro influencers are ranked higher than micro influencers. If you understand business, you'd understand macro is large scale, micro is small scale, right? So above would mean not literally over them like this, like over, right? But it means of a higher rank usually. He's waving at you from below the stairs, right? Hierarchy. That's what you want to pronounce, hierarchy. This is not a pronunciation line. This is prepositions. So we are going to move to prepositions of movement. I hope everyone understands prepositions of place. Any questions about preposition of place? Welcome Mauricio. Welcome Hassan. My name is Deidre and I am your Instagram English teacher, and today we are speaking about prepositions. We already did prepositions of time and prepositions of place. Any questions? Ask me now, and then we are going to move into prepositions of movement. The plane crossed over my house. Yes, so that's like a literal thing going over, right? And we don't usually say crossed over. We'd say the plane flew over my house, right? Because planes fly. So we say the plane flew over my house. Anyone else wants to give an example? You're welcome, Jada Vaishwarya. Anyone else wants to give an example or ask any questions? Now is the time to do it before I go to preposition of movement. Welcome. You're welcome, Mauricio. Where are you from, Mauricio? Your name sounds Spanish or Brazilian. Prepositions of movement. That's where we're heading to. If there are no more questions, if there are no more examples, I am gonna start prepositions of movement. The books are under the table. Yep. Great sentence. Remember your full stops, guys. Your sentence must end with a punctuation mark. Remember your full stops. Brazil, welcome. Right? Your sentence must end with a punctuation mark. Welcome Vishal Ray. Welcome Abdel. Hello everyone. We finished preposition of time, preposition of place. Now we are going to preposition of movement. Alright, so here goes. Prepositions of movement, they are kind of easier to identify than the others, right? Two. The most common preposition of movement is to. I'm going to school, I'm going to France, they will go to the zoo, they're going to the park, right? It shows movement. So other prepositions of movement include across, right? So my friend is sitting across the table from me. I am going across the pond. I am traveling across America. I am traveling across the world. I am traveling across Europe, right? It usually refers moving from one side to another, right? Moving from one side to another. So if I'm saying I'm moving across the world, it means I'm moving from the east of the world to the west of the world, okay? So from one side to another, I would use across. Through means directly inside and heading to the other end. So if I say I'm through in that sense is not a preposition, right? It means I'm done, right? It's not a preposition when you say I'm through. But if you are saying the bus goes through my town, that is showing that the bus drives through the different streets and ends up at the other end of your town, right? If I say the bullet went through his arm, that's pretty graphic, but it means it went from one side and it came out on the other side, right? That's what it means by the bullet goes through. So it means it goes from one side, goes directly inside, and comes out on the other end. That is what the preposition through means, right? From one side, inside something, and ends up on the other end. Into, right? It means entering or looking inside something. So if I say I am going into Walmart, you can say I'm going to Walmart, or you can say I am going into the bathroom. I am going into the room. I'm going into the computer lab. I'm going into the library. That means inside, right? Or entering. So looking inside. I'm looking into my future, right? I got into some trouble yesterday. That means I was out of trouble, but I made my way into trouble by doing something wrong. So I got into trouble yesterday, right? As I said, guys, verbs can be used with many different prepositions, right? So I can say I can get on, I can get into, I can get through, I can get, what else can I do? I can get at. There are so many prepositions that can be used with the word get, with the word look, and some other words. When this live is finished, you can scroll down my page, okay? I made a video about this some time ago. Alright. Other prepositions of movement, we have up, down, over, right? So over means I'm going over. Woo! I'm getting to the other side. It shows the direction. So remember that over is also a preposition of place, right? So if something is still like this, my hand is over my glasses, right? But if I'm saying, and look at this, my hand is going over my glasses. It's going over. It's going over. So over can be both a place and a direction, right? Both a place and a direction. Down, I'm going down the road. I am going past the school. Past, it's a preposition. I am going around the block. That's a direction because it shows that I'm going around the block. It tells my movement, right? It's like a direction. So up is a direction, down is a direction, around is a direction, past is a direction, over is a direction, right? So remember that we are looking at prepositions of direction or movement. So if a word tells a direction, that means it is a preposition. By, I'm passing by the school. By is another preposition. Alright, guys. Does over work only with direction? No, as I said before, it works with place, right? So look at this. My hand is over my glasses. It tells this where my hand is. And I can say my hand is going over my glasses. This is the direction. It's going over my glasses. Place, my hand is over my glasses. Direction, my hand is going over my glasses. Right, Miss Marie? So over can be both a preposition of place, telling where something is, and a preposition of direction, which tells where something is going. Okay? Movement. It tells my movement. Okay, Miss Marie, I hope that answered your question. Anyone else has any questions about prepositions of direction or movement? Anyone else? Anyone else? Anyone else? Anyone else has any questions? Anyone else has any questions? Okay. How do we identify prepositions, guys? So prepositions don't have a pattern, right? They don't have a consistent pattern because they can be used in so many different ways, in so many different contexts that you have to practice them, right? You have to practice them. Teacher, welcome. You have to practice your prepositions. It's just like phrasal verbs. I can give you a whole list of phrasal verbs, but if you don't practice, you will never remember them. So you have to practice your prepositions. Practice. You have to read to see how they are used. You have to listen, right, to see how people use them. So watch videos, and so prepositions are really hard, but they just take practice. And the thing is that many prepositions can be used in many different ways. Each verb usually takes more than one preposition. So just like phrasal verbs, prepositions are something that you just have to practice, because no list can help you really. I can give you a list of phrasal verbs, but they won't help you because they're used in different contexts. So if you don't know how to use these words, it will make no sense. You will know that the word good can be used with at, with, over, right? But if you don't know how to use them, Wikipedia has the list of the 100 and something prepositions that exist, right? The whole list of prepositions. Remember I said before that prepositions are a closed group, so there will never be new prepositions that are added. So Wikipedia has a list of all the prepositions that exist in the world. So you can go and study them there, but I'm telling you, no, it's not, Abdel. No, I'm telling you, Abdel, it depends on. No, because you wouldn't just say, you would say at the bottom of something. So at would be the preposition, but that, and it's BOTTOM, right? So that's it. Okay. How to identify a preposition, right? They're almost always short words. The majority of prepositions have less than 6 letters, right? So generally a rule is that anywhere a mouse can go. Think of a preposition as anywhere a mouse can go. So above, below, next to, between, beyond, through, by, with. There are so many prepositions, right, guys? So it will be useful to learn them and to learn how to use them, but there is only so much you can study and know more. You really have to listen and to read to get a true sense of how to use prepositions. Alright, so prepositions with nouns. We're going into prepositional phrases, right? So prepositions with nouns. These are usually some it's like they're not phrasal verbs, but they're like phrases, right? So cruelty towards, animosity towards, it's a danger to my health, I had some trouble with the law. 21 is the age at which most countries allow people to start drinking. The robbers made an attempt. No, I wouldn't say that. The school made an attempt at unifying all their grades. Right, so there are some nouns that are always used with specific prepositions, right? So just like you have phrasal verbs, you have nouns that are also always used with specific prepositions, and these are just a few examples. You usually say knowledge of. So I have knowledge of something, right? So I have knowledge of Spanish, right? And knowledge of doesn't mean I do well at Spanish. It means that I know something about Spanish, right? Inquiry into. Inquiry is always used into, guys. Into, right? I inquired into. There is an inquiry into. Cruelty towards. Animosity towards. Prepositions with verbs. So, to, for, with, of, in, at. They are commonly used with verbs, okay? So, some examples. I admitted to something. I admitted, the criminal admitted to the charges. I didn't admit to any charges. The criminal admitted to the charges. Go to. I'm going to France. I go to the US once per year. Relate to, right? So relate to, right? If I say I can relate to a story, it means I identify with, I understand what's happening. If I say that I relate a story, it means I tell a story. So that is why I said, guys, that you have to practice, because these words, they mean the verbs, they mean something on their own, and they mean something different with the prepositions, right? Relate versus relate to. Get versus get to versus get into versus get over. The word get can be used with almost all the prepositions, guys. Get, well, not all, but the common prepositions, right? So get to. If I say I'm gonna get to that later, it means I'm gonna do that later. If I say get over, right, it means that I overcome. If I say get into, it means like I'm involved. With other word, get, which other preposition can I use with get? Get at. I'm gonna get at him for doing that. It means like you're kind of gonna argue. Get off. It means if I say when I saw the mess in my house, I got off, right? It means I got really angry. Or I say I went off, I got really angry, right? So the word get, the verb get, can be used with many different prepositions. Alright, verbs that use off. I dreamt of my Prince Charming last night, right? To dream of, to hear of. I've never heard of Picasso. How many people in this world have never heard of Picasso, right? Consist of. So this bread consists of dough, raisins, honey, right? Consist of means what's inside. Then we have verbs that are used in like believe. I believe in myself. To live in. I live in the city. Result in. Right? So result result is basically always used with in. Yeah. It resulted in. This is the result, or it resulted in. Yeah, result is basically always used with in. Verbs that use at. We arrived at our destination. She excels at sports. The baby smiled at me. Right, examples of verbs that use on. I'm gonna concentrate. Concentrate is always used with on. It's always used with on. Concentrate is always used with on. Right? It's always used with on. Insist is always used with insist. Insisted on. Yes, always use it on. Insist is always use it on. Experiment. On. Experimented on, right? So the doctors experimented on the baby. It means that something new came up, like a new medicine or a new development, and they experimented on the baby. From, she suffers from. You always suffer from something. So she suffered from insomnia. Retired from. Retired is always used from. She retired from the Navy. You can say I retired to bed. That means like I go to bed. But people always hardly use retire when it's about going to bed. You can say she retired to bed about 8 p.m. right? You can use retired with to, but in that sense, if I say I retired to, it means that I went to bed. Whereas retired from means that I reached the age of retirement, right? Refrain from that means you stop yourself from doing something, right? It means you stop yourself from doing something. Prepositions with adjectives. You have like married to, crazy about, interested in, sorry for, delighted with, angry at, astonished by, associated with. Adjectives that are used with prepositions, right? Those are some examples. I'm scared of, I'm afraid of, I'm terrified of, I'm frightened of, I'm good at, I'm great at, I'm bad at, I'm terrible at, right? So there are always exceptions, guys, and remember this with English. That's one of the hard parts of English, even for us as native speakers. Almost every single English rule has an exception, right? Almost every single English rule has an exception. So don't rush yourselves, guys. Don't beat up on yourselves when you're saying, oh my god, I studied this, but this is different. Like, it's gonna be different, guys, because almost every English rule has an exception. Take time with yourself, be patient with yourself. Learn a language does not come overnight, okay? Learning a language does not come overnight. Be patient, work at it daily. Set a daily time where You will say, okay, this 15 minutes today I'm working on English. Today I'm practicing speaking, tomorrow I'm practicing listening, the next day I'm practicing reading, the next day I'm practicing writing. Don't be too hard on yourself, guys, because then English won't be fun and it will be harder for you to learn. So make learning fun, guys. Make learning fun, okay? And remember, if you need the free ebook on how to improve your English, click the link in my bio to get it. If you want free practice quizzes, I send those out once per week. You can click the link in my bio for that also. Anyone has any questions? You can also ask me questions about summer school if you have any questions. Hello for everyone that just joined. We just went through prepositions, right? We have prepositions of time, prepositions of place, and prepositions of direction or movement. Prepositions can be used with nouns, verbs, and adjectives, and they're something that you have to practice because prepositions can fall into different groups. There are over 100 prepositions, and you can use Wikipedia. Wikipedia will give you the list of all the 100 and something prepositions that exist. But you have to practice, guys. Just like phrasal verbs, you have to practice prepositions because they mean different things and used with different words, and they also change the meanings of verbs. It's right there at the bottom, Nassim. We were speaking about prepositions. Does anyone have any questions, guys? Any questions? Anybody interested in summer school? It will be a 12-week program. It's an intensive program, guys, where we'll do daily activities that will help you to improve your English. Send me a DM if you want to know more. If you want one-on-one sessions with me, I have 15-minute sessions for $5 where we can practice your speaking, and 1-hour sessions where I will teach you a topic of your choice for $15 US. Any questions? Any questions? I see those of you who are watching. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I appreciate those of you who have been here from the beginning. Marasia, Ali Jabbar, Arison, Medi, Sandri, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you all being here. The subject today is preposition. I hope you learned something. I really hope you learned something new. If this live was helpful to you, press the little arrow that's right here. Where are you? It's right there on your screen. Share it with a friend who is learning English too, right? This is a free session on how to learn how to use preposition. So share it with a friend, okay, guys? Share. Thank you so much for stopping by, and have a good day, everyone. Have a great Saturday. Bye bye.